Greetings, fellow humans, and welcome to another Tea with JD. Having some buttermint tea. I actually tried to record this twice, so third time's the charm. I freaking hope. How you doing? Is everything great? No, this is actually an original tag. This is, if you've ever watched this channel or if you know me in person or through my writing or anything, you know I'm slightly a big Pearl Jam fan. Slightly. Pearl Jam is my favorite band. Has been since for 26 years. The band that brought me to rock. So, since I'm doing all this book to business, I said, why the hell not do a tag based on Pearl Jam and their tracks? They've got 10 albums. I made 10 questions based on song titles from each album. You're probably not gonna see all of the greatest hits from each album or anything on a single. I love the entire discography. So, in that and in no sequence, you know, each of the albums is represented. But hey, question number one. Mind Your Manners, actually a track from their latest album, which is titled Lightning Bolt. A great track, great punk track. It's got a lot of grit. Who is the rudest character you've ever read? For me, Veruca Salt is quite high up there in characters in terms of rudeness. Not people I hate, but in terms of rudeness. That child deserves a whooping, and it gets to the point with Veruca that you really want to choke her. And actually, speaking about choke, Victor from Choke by Chuck Palahniuk. Victor is awful, and he is as rude as it comes. And that entire book, it's a very memorable read, but it's not necessarily a pleasant one. And Victor is really not pleasant and very rude. But yeah, those two are the ones that come to mind when I think of rude people. By the way, when I shift and the lighting change, see, right now it's like my forehead is like this blank vista because I need sun. This whole Caribbean fishing, Georgian lands is weird. I need me some sunlight to return to my natural mocha hue. Back to the tag. Immortality, a song of vitality. What author did you get to know after they passed away, henceforth them being immortal? I did get acquainted with Frank Herbert, his writing after he passed away. But really, when I see what I've read and how I've reacted, I need to mention Terry Pratchett. I know that I mentioned Terry Pratchett a lot, but he's just a writer that I've gotten in touch with the last 2 years, something like that. And it has been such an amazing experience, 2 or 3 years. Such an amazing experience, such a great author, so fun, and truly someone that I really hope that something rubs off when it comes to reading Terry Pratchett, and I wish that upon pretty much every writer. Not in the sense to have similar styles, but it shows how much he loves to write, and to just describe something typical in the most atypical way. Question number three, Daughter, a track from the second album by Pearl Jam, Versus. What character would you love having as a daughter? Honestly, Coraline. Uh, I adore Coraline. I think she's a sweetheart, and she's pretty much everything that I would want in a daughter, in the sense of being creative, a little rambunctious, a little naughty, but still a good kid with good values. And kids have tantrums, sure, but so do parents. That said, the character of Coraline is just, if I was if I were female and an adventurous kid, I would want to be like Coraline. That's pretty much the best way that I can describe it. And so often I would read either the book or the graphic novel or even see the movie, and I'd have to smile at her behavior or something she said or something she did. Really, just as memorable as it gets for me. Question number four, Alive, which is a track off their debut album, 10. mm. um, who is your favorite living author, and what are some of your favorite works from them? And as mentioned in the previous work and in so many other videos, Neil Gaiman is my favorite currently living author. He tops J.K. because I've read a wide variety of things from Neil, and I've always resonated. And I think that with J.K., there's going to be a couple of things that I read that I don't click with. Um, and there's other authors who have, when it comes to Harry Potter, that strikes one of the deepest chords in my life. But when you say an author, I'm trying to be a bit more responsible and say something besides a series. I'm not saying that J.K. is a one-hit wonder. I'm saying that Neil repeatedly strikes a chord with me. Repeatedly. So Coraline, I've mentioned Sandman to the point of, vomit-inducing, I think. But I insist, if you're looking for a graphic novel series that has a literary edge, please check that series out. I am insistent on it because I think it's something that really deserves even more widespread acclaim than it already has, and it already has plenty. And lastly, the Graveyard Book, I thought was a phenomenal book. Just a lean read that had no filler and was just so fun to read. Question number five, Wishlist, which is a track off Yield. If you booked a magical cruise ship and could visit 5 to 8 places from fiction, where would you visit and why? Firstly, Neverland, specifically the book version or the one from the Hook version with Robin Williams. Not so much the one in Once Upon a Time. Neverland is a magical place. It seems like a ton of fun to visit, and that it's easy to get lost and stay lost there because it is that memorable. Mermaids, coves, the tree, it all seems like a great place to go hang out. And since you don't have to live there, hey, awesome. So Neverland, the Wizarding World. All of us want to visit. Even people who probably hate Harry Potter would, if they were given the chance, they would go, okay, I'll visit it because there has to be something memorable. And I've gone twice. I went to Orlando, Universal Studios, and it is truly a magical experience. If you have butterbeer, have it frozen, not cold. Trust me. Or order one of each, and then you'll see that I was right. But the Wizarding World has so much magic to it, and I know that sounds kind of silly and almost a cliche, because you're talking about the wizards and whatnot, and almost pun-like. But still, it is that, and it is very fun. Another world I'd love to visit, even if it's one of my works, I would love to visit Drime. Drime is the dream world in the Daydreams on the Sherbet Shore. And you're gonna hear me talking more about the Daydreams on the Sherbet Shore, and I'll be doing readings of that work for reasons that I will disclose in a video soon. It is a project I am very fond of, and it is all about world building and having fun as a writer, and I have a lot of fun. And the World of Dreams allows me to visit places like the Kung Fu Circus, the Parched Pumpkin, which is a pub, to fly on a dragon ship and see magical things that obey the simple rule of having fun as a writer. So I would love to see that I am. And Discworld, is it crazy and dangerous? Yeah, but I would love to see Discworld. Just for a chance to see some of the madness, that would be fantastic. Um, I don't mention Wonderland because Wonderland, although it is fantastical, I think my safety there is even more, you know, less guaranteed than the Discworld. But still, the Discworld is a fascinating place. Next question. The Fixer, which is actually a track off Backspacer. What are some of the best and worst solutions to problems in books you've ever seen? Worst solution: Angels and Demons when Robert Langdon paraglides from the helicopter. If this is a spoiler, I'd rather it be a spoiler so you have a heads up because it is trash. It is trashy writing. Even James Bond and the Transporter are having a cocktail and they see that and they go, bullshit. It is awful. And Dan Brown can write a good and compelling read. A lot of people give him a lot of crap, and I go like, I enjoyed Da Vinci Code, and I enjoyed Angels and Demons with the exception of a couple of details, especially the paragliding, which I thought was complete and utter bullshit. It was Bolshevik. And best solution when Ford Prefect jumps out of a window. I'm not gonna say which of the books in the Hitchhiker's Galaxy it is. I'm just gonna say that it happens, and when it happens, it'll still surprise you, even if I just said it. So it's not much of a spoiler. Mm. Question number 7, present tense. What are you currently reading or recently finished? That would be Falter by Haven Cage, Flow by Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi. I have no idea how to say that name. Flow was a really good book, and I will be doing a book review on that soon. I finished The Essence of Zen. I finished Hush, Batman Hush. It was pretty good. I'm also reading a couple of shorter reads that I want to take like a little bit of time and read them in one go because they're not that long, and I can just, if I sit down and read, I'll finish it in one go. So when I do that, I will offer it, and also as recommendations if you're in the mood for something shorter. It is by Lillian Oak and another by Joshua Robertson, by the way. Both indie writers, both lovely people, actually married. Question number 8. Love Boat Captain. Who are some of your favorite protagonists who are born leaders? So many to choose that I'm not going to say one. And by the way, the question says plural. Some of your favorite protagonists. So, Gandalf and Aragorn from Lord of the Rings are born, and The Hobbit for Gandalf, are born leaders. Uh, it is easy to like them. It is easy to look up to them. I prefer Gandalf because I think he is a far more flawed character, yet a more powerful character as well. And a more complex character. And in dialogue, I think I think he's also top notch. But Aragorn, I like that that he's gonna be the hero, or one of the heroes. But it's a very human version of the hero. I know it's basically an archetype, but still, uh, it's a very human hero, and I like that a lot. Um, Another born hero. I do like Harry Potter. I do, even if he's whiny and he's complex, and he has issues, and he doesn't make the best decisions. When you're a teenager, you mess up a lot, and a lot of people give Harry a lot of crap. And I wonder, when you were a teen, did you not mess up as much or even worse than Harry Potter? Even so, even if he was skeptical, hesitant, resistant to the role that he was given, even if he did not like the limelight, still he pushed through, and he ends up being a really nice kid that you wouldn't mind meeting, because even though he's famous and oh, the boy who lived, uh, he might have been bitter by the attention, but he was never like, a self-indulgent asshole about it. It was like, oh, because I'm no, and that's why he's likable, because he has that type of flaw. Uh, to mention another character from one of my books, Captain Jane from the Human Cycle, I think is a brilliant natural born leader. And she's a better leader than either Nathaniel and Daniel. Uh, Not only is she a vampire pirate, she's the one that keeps pretty much as many people alive in several situations. Um, she's badass, and she's based on my wife. Uh, Paul Atreides from the Dune series is also a natural born leader, and someone that I think is a compelling character in so many ways. So definitely has to be on this list. Question number 9, Rival, which is a track, which is a track from Binaural. Uh, Best antagonist ever, and to me, there can be no one else except the Joker. Batman needs the Joker and vice versa for them to have the impact that they have. And the Joker is as hateful and as scary as they come, but he is also as memorable as they come. So. And question number 10, Worldwide Suicide. What's your favorite dystopian book? Even though it's a classic and probably a cliche answer, 1984, because it is believable to the point that it creeps me the hell out, especially with the times we're living. Brave New World and Fahrenheit 451 are also great books and great classic dystopian literature. But 1984, it packs one hell of a punch, and it is scary. So let us hope that our present doesn't become an Orwellian future. As for who do I tag, I tag Richard Reeds, Jess at Rebel Reads, Katya Mills, The Big Book. Who else is a rocker? Mike Pilgrim, rock brother, and Rachel Householder. She's also really into rock. We'll see if people react to this, and then I can identify other people who are also fans of bands from the 90s and other decades. But for now, and if you want to answer this, by all means, go for it. I'm not sure who would enjoy Pearl Jam. So I hope you enjoyed this. Until next time, peace, love, and Mikey Rolls.